I want to talk to Top Billy, Texas. Top Billy, interesting name, wants to explain why Top Billy believes in intelligent design. You're on Talk Heathen with Objectively Dan and Johnny P. Angel. Why do you believe in intelligent design?
Right. First of all, my name's not Top Billy. My name's just Billy, so I don't know why. I don't know where that first part came from. But,
we're gonna fix it. We're gonna fix it. Sorry about that.
No, that's fine. That's fine. Yeah, I've called the show before, but I've just never talked to you guys, and
Cool.
I just want to run my argument by you guys to see, how you respond to it. I believe that the universe is best described by an intelligent source. I believe that something intelligent is responsible for the existence of the universe and for life. The reason I believe that is because science and philosophy support that answer more than any other answer. And so,
okay, that's not a reason, but that's just citing something else that says, well, these people say that this is right, so that's the reason. So what is the reason?
Well, examples, you mean? Like examples of
No, you just said science and philosophy support me, therefore this is why I believe it. So what is the reason why science and philosophy support it? Like, that's just begging the question.
Well, science supports it using things like the genome, which is not intelligent,
which is not the design of the universe, but okay. It's science. Yes, science supports the existence that genomes are a thing. What does that have to do with design?
No, well, the code, the sequence hypothesis is the hallmark of design in the genome.
What do you mean? There's there's sequences in genomes. What does that have to do with design?
The code. Experiments like Avida and EBWare and other simulations have demonstrated that nature cannot sequence a functional genome.
I disagree. Strong disagree. I'm not sure which experiments you're talking about, to be honest with you. But biologists have been talking about how, again, I don't know which ones you're talking about, so I can't cite that. Can't specifically talk about what you're mentioning. But this idea that nature can't produce a functional genome is something that creationist apologetics have talked about for a long time, and nobody in the field of biology is really talking about it in the same way, to my understanding, right? Like, so genomes are, whether they're functional or not, it doesn't mean anything. Even if it was a dysfunctional genome, that doesn't prove design or not, right? So, like, whether or not, no, it doesn't. You're talking about whether,
supercomputers have identified algorithms embedded in the genome that are forward-thinking. The code is comprised of upwards of 30 different languages, including punctuation and numbers and all kinds of stuff. There's scientific literature that demonstrates that there's peer-reviewed scientific literature that supports that. There's a paper in Nature literally called "The Genome is a Code," and it explains all of this quite clearly, actually.
I don't think supercomputers have proven like forward thinking in genetics. Again, this is just me just like completely disputing this claim here.
Yeah.
I don't think that's within the purview of science, first of all, to even determine something like that. But
you can deny it. Have you ever heard of bioinformatics?
Yes, I'm aware of bioinformatics.
Bioinformatics wouldn't exist if the genome wasn't a code, wasn't a literal code, not a metaphor.
Okay, the literal code stuff is just really aggravating, because like it's just an assertion. It's just an assertion that this stuff is really complicated, and because yes, it is an assertion, because you can't show us the designer. Nobody who has ever talked about intelligent design has ever been able to point out a designer that has ever shown the act of designing. Show me a God that designed something. Show me God designing anything. It doesn't happen. What we do see is the changes in genomes and the changes in genetic information over time. And using those principles, we can extrapolate from there that we've seen everything that we see in nature. All kinds of genetic information starts and begins with natural processes. I've never seen a God design something. Have you?
The existence of something is not dependent upon whether or not we know who made it. Okay.
If you're proving design, then yes, it does actually.
Okay. Look, you're getting angry. Which is kind of what happens whenever an intelligent design argument is always is presented here. I mean, I'm sorry that you're not, aware of things like Abida and Mendel's accountant and E.B. Ware and these different simulations that exist that demonstrate that.
So Billy, it sounds like
unnatural.
It sounds like you've read quite a bit on this subject. Does that indicate that you?
Oh, I have.
You have, yes. Does that indicate that you work in this particular field of science?
That would not be a direct indicator that I work in the field. No.
So, but do you work in this field of science?
No, I don't. No, I don't.
Okay. Do you have expertise in this field of science?
I believe so.
What is your expertise in this field of science?
25 years of studying. Like the definition of an expert is somebody who knows more than the average person. So I think I know more than the average person.
So your basis for saying that you are an expert in this field of science is that you've been studying this for 25 years. But what I'm trying to find out is, you've been studying it from, is it laboratory experiments? Is it are you working at with some sort of a lab or a university or with a research institution? Or is that what you're doing?
Well, no, none of that.
Okay. All right. None of that stuff. So
is that required? Is that required? Is that a requirement?
I'm not saying it's required. I'm asking you where you base it. So basically, if I watched, I'm going to ask you, if I read history books for 25 years on World War II, and I read other people's work on World War II history, would I, after 25 years, also be an expert in World War II history?
Are you reading peer-reviewed scientific literature?
Yes. Let's say I'm reading peer-reviewed scientific literature.
Then yes, you would be an expert.
I would be an expert. Okay. So,
yes,
do you have a degree? Do you have a degree in the sciences?
Is that a requirement?
That's not what I'm asking you. I'm asking you, do you have a degree in the sciences?
I mean, I don't think that's.
I'm asking you whether you have a degree in the sciences. Objection, non-responsive. So, is it a yes or a no?
Okay.
Do you have a degree in the sciences?
I choose not to answer that question. That's personal information. I'm not going to do that. Fair
enough.
It's not
fair
required.
enough. It's personal information. That's not what I'm asking. So I'm going to take that to be well, you know what? I'm not going to assume a no because I don't have a reason to say no. But
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter whether you have an expertise in this or not, right?
Exactly.
What matters is the evidence that we're looking at, and now it does matter if in interpreting that evidence. I will say that, like requirement of having that degree is being knowledgeable in the field of study. Obviously, you've looked at some of this, and I'm here just telling you straight up that I've looked at some of this too. And I don't think it's reasonable. I'm not familiar with the simulations you're talking about, but I don't know that I have to be. I don't think that we need to. Simulations are irrelevant to me as to whether or not it can happen because we've seen this happen.
Not know.
Say again.
Better to know about it than not know about it. But I said
yes, I agree, but I can't know everything. I get asked a lot of different stuff on this show, and I'm sorry I'm not familiar with every single possible thing that comes up in creation of science. Gosh.
Yeah, Billy. I mean, Billy, you bring up a good point. If these peer-reviewed journals are out there that are making these conclusions, obviously the state of scientific knowledge does not begin and end with two studies, with two reports, with two articles. Yeah. That science, again, is a process. There will have been peer-reviewed journals reviewing the work of these peer-reviewed journals. There will be a continued process. It sounds like some from your perspective, one or two studies have resulted in this conclusion. And so now, are you telling me that you're willing to stop and that's good enough for you? Or are you going to wait to see what the prevailing...
Why would I do that?
Okay, very good. That's a good answer.
Yeah, I would never do that. But you know that Oxford University did a 3-year, multi-million-dollar international study that concluded that belief in a higher power is a natural human instinct.
What the fuck does that have to do with anything?
That's
We're talking about whether or not functional genomes are the result of natural processes or whether they're the result of intelligent design. I don't care what Oxford has to say about whether belief in a god is a natural instinct or not. That doesn't mean anything to us right now.
You jumped to something else, Billy. And I think what you're doing is you're trying to find other reasons to support a belief that you already have. I don't know what you've been reading for 25 years. I don't know who is pointing you in the directions of what material, but I worry that you're selecting for those works that agree with you already. Have you read a lot of material that suggests that there is no indication of intelligent design behind the genomes?
Sure. I've seen people's arguments against these ideas or these facts.
Very good.
Yeah.
And why were you not persuaded by these others' works?
Because they were not persuasive.
Okay. So what made the work that you do believe persuasive to you?
Well, because there was hard scientific experimentation that was done multiple times and by independent sources, and each one came back to the same conclusion. So,
how do you select the articles that you choose to read? What is the process by which you select the ones that you want to learn more about?
I don't select them. I just read them. I just read them all.
You read them all?
Are put in front of me. I read all of them that are put in front of me. I read them. Yes.
That are put in front of you. Okay, that's an interesting way you put it.
Or that end up in front of me. And I search a lot.
So you search. You know that when you search, and I run into this issue with the nonprofits, but I guess I run into this just generally in life, is that I try not to search for the things that already reinforce my belief. I try not to, but I know that there's a natural human instinct to do so. What's your protection for preventing you from researching only those things that support your position?
My knowledge that I don't want to be I don't want to have a selection bias, and so I broaden my horizons. Trust me, I'm not I don't make things up. I'm not a fundamentalist. I'm not some kind of weirdo. I'm out there to learn the truth. Let me ask you a question. Do you guys know the truth? Do you know the truth?
Truth?
What do you mean know the truth?
You're talking. A lot of times, I hear people on the show say that you want to know more true things and less false things, right?
Yes.
And so you've given up your belief in a higher power because you want to know the truth, or you want to learn the truth, or something like that. Have you learned the truth yet?
The truth with a capital T?
That's a weird question.
Yeah.
I don't know that. I mean, we're constantly learning new things every day. I don't know that there is one unambiguous
but the truth.
I don't know if there is one unambiguous hard truth.
It's possible that somebody, even the weirdest person who's ever called your show, they could call your show and they could be right, and you guys wouldn't even know it because you don't know the truth at all.
We don't know the truth.
We don't know what the truth is. I don't even know what you've defined as the truth.
Yeah, what's the truth?
Yeah, what is the truth? What are you talking about?
Okay, look,
If you wanted to sound like the
you
crazy person on the line right now, like that's what you're sounding like you don't have to paint yourself that way.
You don't even you don't even know what the word truth means. I mean, you know what I mean.
Yeah,
right?
Hey, listen, philosophers have many different ideas of what the truth means. We are asking you what your definition of truth is. Yeah, it's true. Yeah, people have different ideas about truth. God. Okay, so there we go.
God. That's what I'm wondering.
Thank you, Billy. Okay, so whether or not there's a God.
I figured that would be a given.
It's not. It's not a given. It's not a given. People have many different ideas.
This show is
Listen,
about.
Billy,
we have people calling in about
Billy,
putting homosexual people in jail.
Billy, if somebody came up to you on the street and says, "Do you know what the truth is?" Like, are you just going to immediately assume you know what they're talking about? Like, I don't know what you're talking about when you say that.
If I was on a show that was direct, if I was on a show that
Billy, we hear all kinds of people, all kinds of people talk about all kinds of truths. You cannot make that assumption. But we're going on a tangent. Billy, let's get focused.
It's all right. You said earlier. You said earlier today that we were upset anytime an intelligent designer calls in, that the hosts get upset. Well, this is what happens more often than anything else. The caller gets upset because we're not following along the path.
I don't know.
Well, you seem a little bit animated there, Billy. You know, I might be wrong. I can't see your face. You seem a little bit animated.
Yeah, I'm not animated.
Maybe just a little bit.
Focused on this conversation, please. Let's get focused on this. I would like to know, Billy, do you believe that evolution?
Answer my question about truth. Answer my question about truth.
What is the question about truth? What is your question?
If somebody called your show and they knew the truth, would you be able to know whether or not they know the truth?
That's such an ambiguous question. I have no idea whether to answer yes or no to that. I honestly have no idea whether to answer yes or no because it's not very well defined. But I am interested. Yeah, it shouldn't surprise you, I guess. I don't know what to tell you, Billy.
It doesn't.
Yeah, listen, I guess, Billy, if you're used to asking vague questions, you're probably getting that a lot. That people don't know what you're asking.
That wasn't a very vague.
It's a very vague question, as we've already established. Billy, I'm going to beat you if you all right, well, now we're talking about opinions here. So, Billy, if I came to you and I asked you the truth, and whether you know it or not, would you be able to tell?
No, I wouldn't.
Okay, well,
see how easy that was?
I don't even know if you know what I was talking about. I didn't know what I was talking about just then. So, look, this is just pointless games here. We got to wrap things up. But, Billy, is evolution a real force in the world or not? Is evolution, as described by biologists, do you believe that evolution does happen? Or do you make the distinction of
scientists?
Go ahead.
I have faith in the scientists who've done the work. I have faith that they've done the work properly.
Okay, so
yes, I believe that. I believe that evolution happens.
Great. So did human beings?
We're talking about We're talking about a system where random mistakes result in improvements over time, which is basically makes a mockery out of entropy. So I mean, but
no, you don't believe in evolution. Then. Okay. That's all I want to know. That's all I want to know. So you do not believe in evolution?
Oh, I do.
Then?
I do believe. No.
Because, do you believe human beings have evolved?
Human beings have evolved?
Yes, did human beings evolve? Okay, did we evolve from apes, from other ape species?
Well, from what scientists say, we share a common ancestor with the great apes, yes.
Okay, so you do believe that?
Yeah, I mean, I believe that the scientists have done their work properly.
Okay, so that's evolution. Okay. That's right there. So do you believe that was a natural process? Or do you believe that God had something to do with it?
I don't know.
Okay.
That's a good answer. That's a very good answer.
I don't think. I know that scientists have never identified a beneficial mutation, like an actual beneficial mutation that results in novel information in the genome. But that's another whole.
And I also know that people have made direct, exact responses to that exact quote just there. Like this is a creationist talking point that has gone on for longer than I've been alive. Okay, so I'm not going to address it here. There's other people that have addressed it, and we're at the tail end of the show here.
Yeah, we are.
So I'm kind of done with this conversation.
Billy, I really do appreciate you calling in. Of course, call in again some other time. It was an interesting conversation, but that's a complicated topic that we just can't solve in one call.